we'll probably see this matchup again within the next few years. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because recently I saw a scene in the movie One Piece Stampede. I know it's not canon, but I still want to mention it. It's Zoro. He's going against Fujitora. They're evenly matched. They're going back and forth, and Fujitora ends up sending a meteor down, where Zoro, he runs fast enough that he's running on water, and he cuts the meteor in half. Now, this didn't stop the danger from the meteor crushing everybody, and so he questioned would he be able to finish cutting it down in time, where Mihawk ends up cutting the meteor in one swing. This showcased that Zoro was good. He's good enough to cut a meteor, but this showcased that Mihawk was better. He destroyed the whole meteor. So what's the difference between the two? Manga Zoro versus current Mihawk. And where do you guys think he is? What does Zoro have left to achieve before he's ready to fight Mihawk again? Let's talk about it. If you guys enjoy regular anime content, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new one. With that away, my name is Potential Unleashed, and let's see how strong Manga Zoro is compared to current Mihawk. The rematch between these two is one of the most anticipated fights in the series, and I may do a video about the fights that I'm most excited to see for the end of the series. I don't know, right? Maybe I won't, I don't know, but still, some of them that I do want to include, like Luffy and Akainu, everybody's hyped for that. Luffy and Shanks, if that does happen. Luffy and Blackbeard. Zoro, this is probably his most anticipated fight in the series. Maybe Shiryu, but just because of the history behind him and Mihawk, this definitely has to be the most exciting, at least top 3 that people are most excited to see in the future. If you guys watch One Piece or read One Piece, typically those that really fall in love and really get introduced to the series, it's probably all on Park. That's where it makes or breaks a lot of people, where if they don't like it by then, typically they just drop the series. But I will say Mihawk's introduction in the Bratier arc, it definitely piqued a lot of people's interest. If you were wavering whether to continue or to drop the series, you definitely were like, whoa, let me stick around when Mihawk's introduction. And it kept you around a little bit longer. Mihawk, he is the world's strongest swordsman. Now, this isn't a video about who's stronger, Shanks or Mihawk. It's a fight for another day. I'm picking Mihawk, right? And that's just, the world's strongest. Anyway, but he was one of the first people to be introduced who were on the high top tier, on that, the highest pinnacle of strength within the series, and it showed how far our characters had to go and that this was going to be a long journey. I know that Mihawk is considered one of the strongest, but I just want to mention that for where we were at in the beginning of the series, Zoro was a well-known character throughout the series. He came from the weakest of the 4 seas, and yet people still feared his strength. They called him a demon in human form. People of the Grand Line, they even knew about Pirate Hunter Zoro, where Barrack Works offered him a position. He was very famous, very feared, but compared to Mihawk, he was, a frog in a well. Like I said, Zoro wasn't a slouch, but Mihawk was just that much better. Now, during the fight, you could clearly see how outmatched Zoro was. Zoro, he's Mihawk's son. Mihawk's his father. Kind of like Lucas Devin Booker's father. Zoro is his son. But Zoro, he used different named attacks and secret techniques where he was humiliated just by a butter knife. But at the same time, this opened the eyes of Hawkeye Mihawk, seeing the potential Zoro had, and challenged him to surpass him, saying that he'll wait for him at the top, and that, once you achieve, the strength, I'll be waiting for you to challenge me again. And watching this movie, this clip specifically, I saw the movie a long time ago, but just rewatching this clip, it made me realize that Zoro's not as far off anymore as people think he is. The reason why I'm saying this, I want to go back to Wano, because before Wano, there's a lot of characters that people would say couldn't compete against Yonko or people of high top tier, where now these characters can compete. Now, I want to highlight, I said compete, not beat, because Law, Kid, they defeated Big Mom. Luffy, he went against Kaido. There was a lot of, help, but still, these characters, they got powers, they got stronger, and now they can compete against people who are at the pinnacle of strength in the series. Kids challenging Shanks. Luffy, he's going against Lucci, Waken. Kizaru's pulling up Long Blackbeard. Zoro, he's there as well. So yeah, these characters, they can compete against anybody in the series at this point. But cutting back to Zoro, he is a character who is really hard to scale. And the reason for that is, well, yeah, he trained and he's at a level, like I said, that he can compete with the others that I listed. And he's really hard to scale because he had to, for the story to make sense, he had to be stronger than Luffy was, or at least on equal footing to Luffy after Whole Cake Island beginning with Wano. Like I said, for the story to make sense pre-Emma. So I'd say pre-Emma Zoro was either greater than or equal to Whole Cake Island, Katakuri, and Luffy. But I'd say, just on the safe side, he probably was like mid-second commander level. So what did Zoro do in Wano, right? He got Enma, which allowed him to regulate his haki better. I don't know if he has advanced armament. In the anime version, there was like a scene where around Enma, he had red haki, looked like real, but at the same time, it could have just been an animation error. But also Zoro, he's armament is his strong suit. It was stated, Sanji was observation, Luffy's conqueror, Zoro was armament. But like I said, it could just be animation, I don't know. But he does have decent observation, he does have advanced conquerors, and only a handful of the strongest can do that. But at the same time, Zoro has yet to master it. It was about to kill him when he was fighting King. But when you look at the rooftop, like I said, it's hard to scale because he blocked a combined Yonko attack, and that had to be the strongest attack that we've seen displayed in the series. And he blocked it and held it off for a few seconds. Then he continued to fight with all those broken bones and being bruised and battered after blocking that attack. And even when he was weakened, he still was able to scar Kaido, a feat only Oda had done. Even in this weakened state, he scarred the world's strongest creature. So I don't know how a fully healthy Zoro would have fared against, a hybrid Kaido. Then we gotta look at King. And I'm gonna make a King video in the next few days. I don't know, maybe like Monday. Expect that to come out, but I'm gonna highlight a little bit of the points in that video here. When you compare Kaido's demolition gust, Zoro, he blocked that like it was nothing, but then he struggled with a similar attack that King did to Zoro. He struggled blocking that, and this was Zoro fully recovered, so he was losing to King a majority of the fight. And I want to mention in chapter 1077, Zoro, he stated that when the flames were on, King was dang near invincible. So that just shows how strong King is, and I don't think we're giving him the credit that he deserves. But in the fight against King, he was losing him for a lot of times. Then he got advanced conquerors and the fight was easier. But like I said, it's hard to say how strong King was and how strong Zoro is based off of that. If I had to put him somewhere, I put him where Zoro's on the level of people like Kid, Law, Yamato, and Sabo. I put them all like high first, low top tier. I think that they could compete against anybody. Now, what does Zoro need to do in order to compete and defeat Mihawk? He needs to get Future Sight. Shanks has it, Mihawk has it probably, and Zoro parallels Rayleigh. Rayleigh has it, so I think Zoro will get it. And if, with Shiryu having the clear fruit, you probably need to see into the future in order to defeat somebody that's invisible. And if he doesn't have it, I'm gonna be a little bit upset. Same with armament, advanced armament. I'm not sure if he has it. Like I said, it could have been an animation thing. But if he doesn't have it, he needs to get that. He needs to get Black Blades, which we speculate that's how you get it. It's by imbuing a lot of haki through your forging battles, all that stuff. He needs to master Advanced Conquerors. Like I said earlier, his fight against King, it was really draining of him. And I don't think if he has all the advanced version, it won't take away from Luffy, because Luffy has that broken devil fruit and he's the sun god. Someone without a devil fruit needs all of these types of haki. I mean, look at Shanks, and like I said, we speculate, look at Mihawk potentially, and probably Garp as well. Those characters are really strong, have all these types of haki in order to compete, and they don't have a devil fruit. So if he can do that, I definitely think he'll be able to be at Mihawk's level and even surpass him. Like I said, if I had to put him somewhere, he'd be with Law, with Kid, with Yamato, and with Sabo, high first, low top tier. I have, to put this into perspective, I have Mihawk high top tier, Luffy mid top tier, same with Ben Beckman mid top tier. Zoro, he's definitely stronger than people realize, and he's closer to Mihawk than people think. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know how you guys feel about Zoro, his strength. How strong do you think he is compared to Mihawk? Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you guys never miss out on a new video from my Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. So on the screen and in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to unleash your potential.